In the annals of history, where the stories of queens and kings often command the spotlight, a captivating narrative exists that weaves through the intricate tapestry of the Tudor era. This is the story of a woman whose presence in the shadows of courtly intrigue left an indelible mark on the pages of time. Hers is a tale of mystery, passion, and resilience. As we step back and peer into the enigmatic life of this lady, we are beckoned to uncover the layers of her existence, explore the hidden moments that shaped her journey, and discover the woman whose name, though softly spoken, still resonates through the ages. So join me now as we look back on the hidden life of Elizabeth Blount. In the heart of historical Kinlet, nestled within the area of Bridgnorth in Shropshire, lived a figure destined to entwine her fate with royalty's enigmatic threads. Elizabeth Blount, an embodiment of elegance, emerged from the lineage of Sir John Blount and Catherine Peachall, their ancestral echoes whispering through time. Though Sir John's loyalty to the English royal family was unwavering, history had yet to etch his name in bold letters. A pivotal moment occurred in 1513 as King Henry orchestrated a symphony of conflict against Louis XII of France. Amidst the clashing forces and political currents, Sir John Blount stood steadfast by the king's side, an unassuming sentinel in the pages of history. The Blounts held the gentry's crest. Their impact on the grand stage muted until the stars converged in the form of Elizabeth Blount. In the realm of shadows that veiled Elizabeth's early life, one truth glimmered, a celestial beauty that whispered through the space of time. Like a rare blossom gracing a hidden grove, she was destined to bloom into the consciousness of King Henry VIII, a sovereign born 7 years her senior. The king's court welcomed her as a young maiden, a designated maid of honour to the king's wife, Catherine of Aragon. In this surrounding of silk and intrigue, Elizabeth, fondly called Bessie, unveiled her talents as a virtuoso of dance and song, a luminary whose brilliance outshone all. Her youth adorned with high spirits and unwavering energy, Bessie's 20s and 30s danced with merriment. Her laughter resonated as very good cheer, a siren's call that enraptured all in her presence. She ascended to a singular distinction, becoming the king's preferred partner in the vales of dance, a privilege that whispered of a deeper connection. Within the hallowed halls of the court, fate orchestrated its clandestine ballet. Elizabeth's allure ensnared the king's gaze, kindling a liaison that defied the conventions of royalty. As they painted their strokes upon the canvas of time, the tale of an affair between a king and his enchantress unfurled. Their clandestine embrace spanned 8 mysterious years, a chapter uncovered after the veils of secrecy were gently parted. In the intricate circles of Henry VIII's tumultuous affairs, a singular lady stood out: his relationship with Blount, a connection that defied the fleeting nature of his liaisons. Amidst a court pulsating with whispered intrigues and concealed passions, Blount carved her place, unlike Henry's fleeting dalliances that dissolved like the mist at dawn. While the royal couple's desperate efforts to conceive a male heir faltered, destiny weaved a different thread in Blount's story. From the embrace of their forbidden liaison emerged a child, a son, robust and healthy, a living testament to the potency of their union. In June 1519, the world welcomed Henry Fitzroy, a son acknowledged by the king himself, bestowed with titles that whispered of his royal lineage: Duke of Richmond and Somerset, Earl of Nottingham. This boy bore the indelible mark of his father's blood. But as shadows mingled with courtly revelries, the reasons behind the affair's conclusion remained shrouded in enigma. Perhaps fate's hand had orchestrated this clandestine dance, and the resulting child, an accidental creation rather than a calculated step on the ladder of ambition. Blount's existence, a testament to Henry's ability to sire sons, echoed in a popular refrain that danced through the air like a whispered incantation. "Bless ye, Bessie Blount," a phrase, a tribute to her unspoken role in proving the king's virility, echoed through the corridors of power and among the the common folk. Yet as the echoes of one chapter faded, the ink of history inscribed another affair into the king's narrative. Mary Boleyn emerged as a new muse, her allure casting a shadow over Blount's presence. While not formally recognised, their connection bore a weight that could have hastened Blount's departure from the courtly stage. The title of public maîtresse en titre, reserved only for Anne Boleyn, hinted at the complexities of the heart that beat within the king's chest. On the delicate mind of love, ambition and intrigue, these women etched their names upon the annals of Henry VIII's story, each contributing a verse to the enigmatic ballad of his reign. In the year 1522, a new chapter unfolded in Elizabeth Blount's life, as the orchestrated chords of fate led her into an arranged union with Gilbert Tailboys, the first Baron Tailboys, his name sometimes gracing the pages as Tailboys. Whispers of ancestral madness swirled around his lineage, a shadow cast upon a family whose history bore cryptic ties. With the ink of their vows still drying, the couple embarked on a journey to the heart of Lincolnshire, where their future awaited, cloaked in secrecy and uncertainty. In the embrace of this tranquil haven, their love brought forth a trio of blessings, a testament to their shared journey. 3 children with threads of heritage and passion painted the canvas of their legacy. Yet as the years unfurled their painting, Elizabeth's presence on the grand scale of Tudor affairs seemed to wane, a figure gradually fading from the centre stage. Elizabeth's role in her son's life remained veiled in obscurity within the hallowed chambers of Tudor intrigue. A cryptic letter from John Palsgrave, tutor to Henry Fitzroy, offered a tantalising glimpse into her involvement, suggesting a more profound connection than history had dared to acknowledge. The king's affectionate presence in his son's upbringing was noted, an affection that echoed the corridors of his lineage. The courtly whispers briefly rustled in 1529 as a palace chaplain's words came to the fore. Once hailed as a beacon of beauty, Elizabeth was said to have outshone even Anne Boleyn, a woman acclaimed for her allure. The court's murmurs painted a portrait of 2 enchantresses, each bewitching in their own right. In the summer of 1536, tragedy's chill descended upon Elizabeth's world. As if touched by a cruel twist of fate, her husband Gilbert, Lord Tailboys, had already departed this realm in 1530, but now it was her son, Henry Fitzroy, whispered away tragically by the cold fingers of tuberculosis, leaving a void that echoed in her heart. But Elizabeth's story would not end here, for destiny had more chapters to unveil. From the ashes of her past emerged a young suitor, Edward Clinton, or Fiennes, the 9th Baron Clinton, a man whose lands embraced hers. Bound by vows exchanged between 1533 and 1535, Elizabeth embraced a new identity, Elizabeth Fiennes. Though a brief period saw her serve as a lady-in-waiting to Anne of Cleves, Elizabeth's health struggles diverted her path. She stood witness as the bonds of royal matrimony dissolved, her tenure echoing the rise and fall of queens. Yet her days of service concluded, she sought solace in the embrace of her husband's estates, the land that cradled her final chapters. Elizabeth Fiennes breathed her last in the warmth of summer's embrace sometime after July 1540. The whispers of history do not concur on the cause, but a traditional refrain of consumption lingers, a shadow cast upon her final moments. In the intricate tapestry of Henry's marital exploits, Elizabeth Blount's significance might have seemed a mere whisper against the resounding narratives of Catherine of Aragon and Anne Boleyn. Yet history's gaze often glosses over the enigmatic threads that weave the stories of those in the shadows. In the grand procession of mistresses gracing Henry's life, Blount held a unique chapter that held significance. Among this swirl of passion and secret rendezvous during his initial marriage, she emerged as the sole mother of his acknowledged illegitimate progeny. This fact alone painted her with intrigue as whispers in the halls of power dared to suggest her son's elevation to the throne's rightful heir. As the 1520s painted their strokes upon the canvas of time, discussions swirled, hinting at the possibility that Elizabeth's son might inherit the crown. Though these whispers eventually faded into the corridors of uncertainty, the mere existence of such speculations underscored the resonance of her story. A veil of belief shrouded Henry's thoughts, his conviction that his virility, proven through the birth of a robust son, starkly contrasted his wife's apparent inability to bear a male heir. Catherine of Aragon's womb echoed the cries of 3 boys, yet only the first found life's embrace for 7 fleeting weeks. In the labyrinth chambers of Henry's heart and mind, these brief lives whispered of a fault in the royal union that kindled a desire for an annulment to rewrite the narrative of his life. Thus, Elizabeth Blount's place in history may have been quiet compared to the tumultuous crescendos of queens and consorts, but her story was cast with secrets, whispers, and potential. As the pages of history turned and Elizabeth Blount's presence began to fade, her tale continued to ripple through time, a whispered melody in the grand symphony of the Tudor era. After the final echoes of her story in the courtly drama of Henry VIII subsided, Elizabeth sought refuge in the embrace of a new identity, one shaped by the tender threads of marriage and motherhood. The land that had witnessed her joys and sorrows became her sanctuary, where she could breathe and flourish beyond the spotlight's glare. In the quieter chapters that followed, Elizabeth Blount converted into Elizabeth Fiennes, a woman who embodied the strength of a life lived, a life adorned with both the crown of love and the burden of loss. Alongside her husband, her days were lifted with children's laughter, the whisper of love letters, and the romantic secrets shared beneath moonlit skies. Her name, once whispered in the corridors of kings, now reverberated through local stories, a thread connecting her to her neighbours and their lives. With time, the pages of Elizabeth's existence turned quietly, marking the ebb and flow of the years. A connection to the court and all its intrigues became a distant memory, a chapter that had faded into the realms of legend and lore. In the twilight of her years, Elizabeth's legacy remained etched in the faces of her descendants, the threads of her lineage set for generations to come. She may not have claimed headlines or courtly acclaim, but her life's narrative whispered of resilience, strength, and a woman's power to shape her destiny. As the final chapter of Elizabeth Blount's journey closed, her memory lived on in the annals of history, a reminder that even amidst the tumultuous tides of royalty, the quiet threads of personal stories endure, leaving a mark on the fabric of time itself.